Please select a mission. Please select a landing zone. Landing zone confirmed.
Roger. This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Boss, welcome home.
Gaining altitude.
Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Mission not accepted. Mission accepted. Heading to Afghanistan. Deploying.
Find and extract the missing CIA agent. The target was laying low with the friendly Mujahideen during the vocal cord parasites incident. The man headed back to OKB-0 after the Soviets recaptured it. Check the target's VI on your iDroid.
The agent that the CIA had...
The target this time is a Soviet soldier who was passing information about his country's activities to Langley. He's the kind of scum I'd like to keep off Mother Base. But he knows about the parasites. We need to extract him to make sure neither the US or the Soviets learn of their existence.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Buddy departing area of operations. Analysis for the map has been
That's the
updated.
target. Looks like we found him.
Help me!
Target extracted. Exfiltrate the hot zone, boss.
Mission info has been updated. Buddy has arrived. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Please select a drop point. Dispatch requested. Buddy departing area of operations. Exfiltrated.
All right, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Buddy has
Mission complete. Boss, the target filled us in on what's been going on. He betrayed the Soviets, passing information to Langley, but got scared after learning XOF used the vocal cord parasites. Then came feelings of guilt that his leak sent comrades to their deaths, and fear that America might deploy such a weapon itself. But in reality, XOF and Langley don't have a collaborative relationship, and Skullface was not working for America. Still, I can't blame the man for being afraid. After laying low with the Mujahideen, he tried to cut his ties with the US and return to the Soviet military. But along the way, someone came after him, and he was forced back into hiding. Could have been remnants of XOF looking to silence him. And you know the rest. He doesn't seem to know much about the parasites, but nevertheless, it'd be too dangerous to hand him over to Langley or the Soviets. We'll keep him here as originally planned. Emmerich's finished development on that battle gear of his. Get back to Mother Base. battle gear is an armored weapon developed to take on hostile bipedal weapon systems. But unlike the Soviet-funded Walker gear, the battle gear still hasn't been properly field tested. I'd like to assign a combat unit to take it on dispatch missions, so that we can evaluate its capabilities and reliability.
Development
Assuming you got
complete.
no objections, give the order to dispatch the unit from your iDroid. Boss, we need evidence to prove our suspicions about Emmerich.
Select
Head to the
mission.
central base camp in Afghanistan and recover that AI pod. It's time we purge Diamond Dogs of that traitorous parasite once and for all.
Please select a mission. Please select a landing zone. Landing zone confirmed.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Please select a mission.
Boss, we need evidence to prove our suspicions about Emmerich. Head to the central base camp in Afghanistan and recover that AI pod.
Please
It's time we
select.
purge Diamond Dogs of that traitorous parasite once and for all.
Heading to Afghanistan. Deploying. The map has been updated.
Be careful down there, boss.
The one that covers. The parasite that lives on the surface of the skull's bodies is what gives them their power. Similar to my children, who live in my skin. I modified the parasites I isolated from the body of that old man, differentiating them with various abilities. One that can blend perfectly into its surroundings by exposing the pigments in its cells at will. Another that, by harboring multiple species of metallic archaea, can oxidize and reduce metal. Isolating the one that covers and transplanting it into an artificial medium should provide the same abilities as the skulls, but they can only subsist within a human body. Once transplanted into the medium, they will eventually die. Another thing, the weakness of the one that covers is desiccation. Their surface moisture loss is greater than ours. The reason they give off mist is to alleviate this by releasing the salts inside them as microparticles. Water vapor condenses around them, appearing as mist. But this dries out the atmosphere until they cannot even produce mist. And once their supply of water from the host runs out, the parasites are in danger. They, along with their host, enter a form of suspended animation. However, a similar effect occurs if they come into contact with a large amount of water. Rain, for instance. The one that covers will temporarily abandon other processes in his eagerness to absorb the water. Pitijolone. Make the weather your ally.
Marker placed.
You can disrupt communications between enemy outposts by destroying comms equipment. That'll prevent one post from sending reinforcements to another.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Я не хочу умирать!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Marker removed. Please select a mission. Marker placed. Analysis complete. Marker removed. Marker placed.
Проваливай! Что это?
Speak. Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
coming too. Roger that. AI pod launch confirmed. We'll pick it up. I wonder what kind of secrets are buried in it. I'll let you know if we learn something. Got a report from the intel team. Remember how the man on fire was crushed by Sahelanthropus? Well, the Soviets recovered his body. Could he really be dead? Boss, head for Yaha Ovu's supply outpost and secure the man on fire's body. If Skullface was right, and a thirst for revenge can turn a man into a demon and keep the dead alive, then this man on fire who's been coming after us ever since you woke up, well, that just might be what's left of our old friend Volgan.
Marker placed. Marker removed. Please select a landing zone. A support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Противник.
Please select a landing zone. Deploying.
This is Yellow Cake that Cypher was having the PFs transport. Before we met you, the boss recovered it from a truck crossing the savannah. Are there metallic archaea inside it?
Yes, the archaea metabolize uranium-235 to subsist. They must be stored inside Yellow Cake, or they cannot survive.
So those biological traces we took for impurities were actually the real cargo.
Of course, they are deactivated, so they do not trigger a sudden enrichment. They are like baker's yeast. Yet, they do gradually enrich the uranium as they feed. I imagine you detected weapons-grade traces.
Yeah, we did.
And the malachite that was loaded on the truck had traces of uranium in it too. So that's the flower, huh? Skullface was gonna sell do-it-yourself nuke kits. The uranium-enriching archaea complete with a user's manual. And the ores with the uranium could be sourced by the client or provided by Cypher.
Even the trace amounts buried in common ores can be enriched to weapons-grade uranium by the metallic archaea. Proving that must have been the most important factor of the trials. That and the ability to successfully prevent detonation.
So if the amounts of uranium in the ores are low enough, they can get past any inspection. And you only need a tiny amount of the archaea to act as the yeast. No great challenge to smuggle that either. The first step towards saturating the world with nukes.
His plan. That was not my intention. My only goal in developing the metallic archaea was to save the Dene.
What made you think a tool for creating undetectable nuclear weapons would save your people?
After 70 years, the Dene reclaimed the Navajo nation from which we were banished. We bore all the hardships of poverty. But we were proud to live off the land we called our own. But in the moment the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, everything changed.
I don't get it.
The arms race between the US and the Soviet Union began with the end of the Second World War. Suddenly, there was a massive demand for uranium. And it was our ill fortune that the ground beneath the Navajo Nation was rich with uranium ore. The Black Ana government set up mine after mine, and many of the...
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. presence detected. The map has been updated.
Good.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Еще одна колонна была готова. Как? Что мы потеряли? Без груза никто не пострадал.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Snake! Talk to me! Snake!
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Talk. Where are your friends?
The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Лучше проверить. За мной! Коля!
Вставай!
Давай! Крыс нашел! Вокруг! Эй! Ты в порядке? Давай, без черт возьми! Как ты в порядке?
Ответьте, свой один! У нас проблема. Тревога по всем постам.
Marker plate. Marker removed.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Sun will rise momentarily.
Будьте очень внимательны. Реагируйте на каждое движение. Конец связи.
has been updated.
КП, это Дмитрий-2. Противник ушел из виду. Собираемся обыскать местность. Прием! Это КП, понял. Они не могли уйти далеко. Будьте бдительны. Конец связи. Штаб, это КП. По нам велся огонь. Открыли огонь в ответ, но потеряли врага. Враг может все еще прятаться поблизости. Соблюдайте осторожность. Штаб,
Enemy
это КП.
presence
Ответьте.
detected. The map has been
Штаб,
updated.
ответьте, штаб. Штаб, это КП. Штаб, прием.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added. Please supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Прием. Это КП, понял. Оставайтесь на чеку. Конец связи. Штаб, это КП. По нам велся огонь. Открыли огонь в ответ, но потеряли врага. Враг может все еще прятаться поблизости. Соблюдайте осторожность. Штаб, это КП. Ответьте. Штаб, ответьте. Штаб, это КП. Штаб, прием.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, and that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper won't be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
Конец связи.
Clouds approaching. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Please select a strike point. Please select a strike point.
Осмотр сектора завершен!
КП, до зоны 10. Никаких признаков врага. Отзываем поиск. Прием. Это КП, понял. Не расслабляйтесь. Они еще могут быть рядом. Конец связи.
Please select a strike point. Strike requested.
Всем боевым группам, это КП. На нас напали. Всем подразделениям занять боевые позиции.
Strike will commence shortly. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Caution, sandstorm approaching. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Прекратить огонь! Прекратить огонь! Вот ты где! Огонь! Boss, what happened? Boss!
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. Strike will commence shortly.
КП, до зоны 10. Наблюдаю дым. Зона 10, что случилось? Ответьте, зона 10.
Clouds
Это зона
approaching.
4. У нас выстрелы. Источник неизвестен. Прием. Понял. 7 единицам. Будьте бдительны и найдите нарушителей. Конец связи. Всем боевым группам, это кафе. Все подразделения на боевые позиции. Повторяю, все подразделения на боевые позиции.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Boss, that's a serious injury. It won't heal on its own. You'll need to treat it with first aid.
Please select a strike point. Strike requested.
Потерял визуальный контакт. Перемещаю с последней известной позиции. Прием! Это КП, понял. Будьте очень внимательны. Реагируйте на каждое движение. Конец связи.
Strike will commence shortly. Caution, sandstorm approaching.
КП, это Зоя 4. Потерял визуальный контакт. Перемещаю с последней известной позиции. Прием! Это КП, понял. Обследуйте сектор. Но осторожно. Конец связи.
Сюда! Контакт!
Clouds approaching.
Будет под контроль! Boss, what happened? Boss!
Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will come. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
КП, это Зоя 1. Вижу дым. Можно участвовать с вражеской деятельностью. Прием! Это КП, понял. Усилить безопасность. Повышенная боевая готовность. Конец связи.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will commence shortly.
Это КП, понял. Смотрите в оба. Конец связи.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been
Зоя 10,
updated.
что случилось? Ответьте, Зоя 10. У нас проблема. Тревога по всем постам.
Закончить тут!
Clouds approaching.
You gotta extract him.
КП, это Зоя 4. Никаких признаков врага.
You have arrived at your destination.
Это КП, понял. Будьте наготове. Конец связи.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. You gotta extract him. You destroyed their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
Конец связи.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Caution. Sandstorm approaching. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis caution. Sandstorm approaching. Analysis complete. Please select a strike point. Strike requested.
I barely recognize you, Colonel. Skullface used your thirst for revenge against Big Boss, did he?
Boss, I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid.
Please landing zone confirmed.
Roger.
This is
Please
B-Quad.
select a mission.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
Please select a mission.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Mission list updated. Please select a mission. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Heading to Afghanistan. Mission not accepted. Mission accepted. Heading to Afghanistan. Mission not accepted. Mission accepted. Mission not accepted. Mission accept. Mission not accepted. Mission accepted. Heading to Central Africa.
been stolen. The research materials have been packed into 2 containers and hidden in the jungle southwest of the mansion. Enemy extraction choppers will be there any minute. You have to find and retrieve those containers before they arrive. That area is being guarded by zero-risk security, and their client is XOF. If the choppers make off with the containers, that research will end up in Cypher's hands. That cannot be allowed to happen. One other thing, boss. We need a cargo-capable Fulton extraction device to recover the containers. Use your iDroid to order its development and have it dropped in.
Be careful down there, boss.
The map has been updated.
Alle eenheden, speciale waarschuwing. Verdedig jouw posities. Uit.
Boss, looks like they're stepping up security around the targets. Watch yourself.
Analysis
Guards,
complete.
they must know where the containers are. If you can just squeeze it out of them.
Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will commence shortly.
Visibility in the jungle isn't great. Watch out. You could run into the enemy at any time.
Please, feel the roots, the branches. Become one with the forest. The forest is aware of the enemy's noise. You must be too.
Target extraction confirmed. That leaves 1 target to go. Take care of the next one. Boss, our early warning radar just picked up the enemy choppers. We'll keep you informed of their ETA. Hurry up and extract the target. You can't go firing on the XOS choppers. If we attack XOS now, it'll be a declaration of war against Cypher itself. That time will come, but it's not now. Boss, leave the intel files till later. The enemy's on combat alert. Boss, you don't have much time. Move it.
Er is CP, begrijp. Onderzoek die area. Maar blijf op je hoede. Uit.
CP, dit is Delta 4. Vijf naar uw gevoelens in het gebied van kamp. Oor.
Er is CP, begrijp. Er komt niet ver, gewoon met niet. Blijf wachtzaam. Uit.
Intel
That's
file
fine.
obtained.
Analyzing the intel file you picked up. We've got a fix on the target. Check it on your iDroid.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
The enemy recovery choppers will be there any minute. Get those targets now.
Please select a strike requested. Sun will set shortly.
Kom maar die pad uit.
Strike will commence shortly.
Extraction confirmed. We've avoided the worst possible outcome. Exfiltrate the area. Go ahead and call the chopper. You can also exfiltrate the mission area by land.
The map has been updated. Please select support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
The targets are gone. They'll be looking for you. Hurry up and exfiltrate the hot zone.
On station LZ. Cover fire. In hot.
Target extraction. The enemy's noticed the targets are gone. They'll be looking for you. Hurry up and exfiltrate the hot zone.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Please select landing zone.
Roger.
Support helicopter requested.
complete, boss. Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional. Boss, we got Code Talker's research materials back in one piece. The medical team has them under lock and key in the quarantine facility. The materials should help their research into the vocal cord parasites. Cypher won't be getting their hands on them now.
Side ops
Boss,
list.
about that AI pod you retrieved from Emmerich's research facility. Guess what we found inside? A corpse. Human. The pod maintained a low internal temperature the whole time, and very little outside air got in. That would have slowed down decomposition. Still, the remains were mostly skeletal. Estimated time of death is between 6 months and a year ago. We put the screws to Huey about it. Listen to the tape. Turns out it was the body of someone we knew very well.
Fine. Yes, Strangelove was doing AI research in that lab.
Why hide that until now?
Why? Okay, so what? I wasn't working alone. You've got to understand. You do understand, right? I didn't want to drag her into this. It's my load to bear, alone.
So you didn't create the AI intended to drive Sahelanthropus. It was Strangelove.
Skullface was never in favor of AI control. So naturally they argued. Strangelove, she got him angry and he killed her.
How? You didn't see it? So you found her inside that pod after the fact. And you just left her body to rot in there. Or perhaps you put her in there afterward.
I asked him not to take her away from me.
So she was killed by Skullface, but you asked nicely, and he put her body in the AI pod for you?
That's right.
Pathetic. You know, we have another idea. That you killed her.
Me? I couldn't kill her.
You killed her and locked her body in the pod.
I wouldn't. Don't treat me like one of you. I can't just kill anyone whenever I feel like it. I'm a normal human being.
Oh, I see. So you just shut her inside and waited for her to die.
I would never do that.
What, you mean she killed herself?
Yes. She climbed inside that pod and shut the door. It can't be opened from the outside. It was suicide. Suicide, I said. She killed herself. She got in when I wasn't looking and suffocated. She'd often try to do things like that. By the time I realized and opened the door, she wasn't breathing. I got scared and shut the pod again. I couldn't bring myself to open it back up. That's right. Me? Kill her? What is wrong with you?
I see. Just tell me one more thing.
Haven't you gotten enough today?
Okay, I see it's a painful memory. You don't have to answer, just listen to the question. You see, we examined her remains. She had a scar on her lower abdomen, a surgical scar. It had been stitched up and had fully healed, meaning it was long before her death. She had a child, didn't she? Your child. Where's the kid?
How should I know?
So there is a child.
I've never seen his face.
What do you take us for?
They took it all. Even my child. I didn't even know he'd been born. I lost everything.
How old would he be?
It's 4 years since then.
And you know it's a boy.
Strangelove said so.
And his name?
We called him Hal, even though I never saw his face.
You mentioned that the man on fire was crushed under Sahelanthropus in its hangar.
Yeah. He was caught under the wheels of its transport platform.
But his body wasn't found.
What?
We searched the area the moment we arrived, but there was no trace of him.
I wasn't hallucinating.
I know. I trust you on that. That means someone must have taken the body. But when I got there, everything was still as it was. Even Skullface hadn't been touched. I can't see a reason to sneak into a place like that and drag out the biggest, heaviest guy there.
What are you getting at?
The only option left is, he got up and walked away.
That platform ran him over.
Just ran him over.
You're saying that's not enough?
I don't want to believe it, but maybe not. He shrugs off bullets, even rocket strikes. There's no reason to think that would finish him. It seems ridiculous gathering eyewitness accounts just in case.
If you dig up anything concrete, I want to know.
You'll be the first, if I dig anything up. But I hope to hell I don't.
No kidding.
Volgan, the GRU colonel, was burned alive with a Shagohod during Operation Snake Eater 20 years ago. Despite suffering severe burns to his entire body, he still clung to life. After you left Seleniarsk, Volgan's body was taken to a research institute in the outskirts of Moscow, but modern medicine couldn't explain why he was still alive. Not that the colonel was any ordinary man to begin with. That constant electric current he had running through his body that he could unleash at will, to be honest, I was always uncomfortable around him. Thought I might get electrocuted just by standing nearby. The institute studying him was tasked with investigating and developing human paranormal abilities. The comatose Volgan was used to further the Soviet Union's research into such abilities. But not long ago, the facility burned to the ground, and Volgan's body was never found among the rubble, even though the fire started in the room where they were keeping him. This occurred at around the same time you woke up. If Skullface was right, and a thirst for revenge can turn a man into a demon and keep the dead alive, then this man on fire who's been coming after us ever since you woke up, well, that just might be what's left of our old friend Volgan. It's not over yet. Back in '64, in Seleniarsk, you brought his plans for a utopia down in flames. That grudge is what's keeping him alive. The day the research facility holding Volgan burned down, a Soviet jumbo passenger jet happened to crash nearby, far away to the north of that hospital in Cyprus. On board the plane was a young boy who was being studied at the same facility. The plane fell to Earth from over 8,000 feet, but the boy's body was the only one not recovered. At almost exactly the same time as the crash, Volgan awoke in that facility. According to the Research Institute's documents, the gifts this boy demonstrated included psychokinesis and telepathy. To protect his mind from being inundated with other people's thoughts, he always wore a kind of gas mask. A rudimentary form of psychic insulation, apparently. We don't know where this boy is, But if Skullface is connected to him, we may cross paths with him yet. This boy is part of a new age where nothing we understand about the world makes sense anymore. Don't let your guard down.
Caution, rain approaching.
So what were they doing at Nzoya Badiabalu? That facility with all the people laid out in rows?
The abandoned factory Shabani was held in.
It is precisely as you guessed. Black Anna was coding languages into the vocal cord parasites. They infected the subjects with the parasites, then made an incision in the throat to expose the vocal cords. That allowed them to play recordings of a desired language directly to the parasites.
And the parasites learn the languages that way. That's some teaching method. I just don't get how a bunch of bugs had the brain power for it.
They don't. Do not judge them by human standards. They do not learn as a function of intellect.
Then how do they do it?
What language the parasites react to is coded into their genes. You could expose the Japanese strain to English for years, and it would never learn the language and react to it. The pronunciation, rhythm, and structure are different. But what about, say, Spanish and Portuguese? Linguistically, the two are very close.
Yeah, they're both Ibero-Romance languages.
Even so, a Spanish language mating pair exposed to Portuguese will not copulate. Only when they hear Spanish. Only then. And the majority of their offspring will be the same.
So it's a literal case of a mother tongue.
But if that's so, I don't see how the different strains can be created in the first place.
Well, among the many thousands of offspring, there may be just a few that react to Portuguese.
You're talking about mutations.
Correct. Playing the tapes helps to identify the mutant strains. Those specimens are then isolated and bred with one another. From their children, specimens that react more strongly to Portuguese can again be selected and bred. Repeating this process creates a strain that reacts solely to Portuguese and never to Spanish. Mutation and selection. No different to breeding roses.
So you kept increasing the change over the generations, adapting them to languages from all over the world. Must have taken a hell of a lot of patience.
More like patience. Just how many died for this?
There's something I still don't get. In order to tell which larvae will react to Portuguese, you'd have to let them develop and then see which copulate. That means you'd need tens of thousands of guinea pigs. There's no way you could do that in a facility that small.
For normal selective breeding methods, you would be right. But there is a more effective selection method when training the vocal cord parasites.
Go on.
It is not only when mating that the parasites listen for language. Shortly before hatching, larvae display markedly increased activity in reaction to particular language. The active eggs can be identified under a black light, so the eggs that react to Portuguese are selectively placed in the throats of subjects. So you see, narrowing down strains that react to the target language is an effective process. Though I'm sure that even so, many lost their lives to create the various strains.
Taken against their will into that dungeon.
There are two reasons for playing the tapes for the parasites. One, to isolate the eggs that respond to the target language. And two, to cause the specimens raised from the selected eggs to mate.
I get how the system works. But why do they respond to language before they even hatch? It's not like they can mate from inside an egg.
It is because the larvae learn the language before hatching.
You mentioned that what language the parasites respond to is hard-coded into their genes, and that they don't have the brain power to actually learn a language. But then you say that the larvae at Nzoia Badia Bulu were learning the languages in the egg. Your story doesn't add up.
Your country is home to a unique songbird. The Japanese bush warbler.
Sure, what of it?
What a beautiful call it has. But no bush warbler can sing it perfectly at the start. As chicks, they can barely chirp at all. They must learn from their parents and other adult birds. Only then can they sing properly and attract females. So naturally, there are individual differences in each bird's call. Though they start on the same footing, each bird is influenced by its teachers.
And the parasites are the same?
Like the birds, the parasites have a genetic predisposition towards a particular language. But while in the egg, the larvae's ears are tweaked by listening to the voice of the host. This tweaking ensures that the grown parasites will react better to the host's speech pattern.
Why would they have an ability like that?
Well, there are distinct regional differences within even the same language. Rare is the language that has no unique dialects. Yes, learning the host's speech pattern before hatching attunes the larvae to whatever twist of pronunciation it will encounter. This adaptive ability is what makes them so formidable.
I see. So a language requires selective breeding, but the parasites can learn dialects by themselves.
Of course, having the egg-stage larvae listen to the tapes in the factory was not meant to teach them. It was more important to use that trait of theirs to identify the mutated strains. As I mentioned earlier,
is that really accurate enough to use as a weapon? You could wipe out a neighboring ethnic group by accident if their pronunciation is too close.
What you say is true. In that sense, they are imperfect as ethnic cleansers. But for his purposes, they are good enough. His objective was not to exterminate any one ethnic group, but to render the world's lingua franca, English, inert.
Plant expansion complete. Please select a landing zone. Heading to Mother Base. Heading to Mother Base.
Talk?
Anything?
Still living up to her name.
How about you drop the act? Who infected you with a parasite?
We can't let her talk. Put it back.
All I want's a name. That won't trigger anything. Tell me. Tell me! Your lungs have been barbecued. There's traces of rubbing alcohol in your alveoli. This was found adhered to your lungs, intact. A petal. White Star of Bethlehem. The hospital. Skullface sent you to Cyprus to kill Snake. You were burned inside and out. That should have been the end of it. But, all things considered, you look pretty damn healthy to me. We have Skullface to thank for that, right?
I was the only one capable of applying them to parasite therapy. Until he stole them from me.
Why are you here? Did Skullface send you? Or did you have your own score to settle with the boss? Refreshing? Salt water.
No! She'll die!
His life isn't yours to take. Enough!
That's enough. If she wanted to kill the boss, he'd already be dead. Same goes for us. She's had plenty of chances. She can talk. She's not here to kill anyone. We're wasting your time. It doesn't matter why she's here. She works for you now. She's in love with the legend.
What makes you so sure?
I was the same way once.
What if she's a spy?
What if I'm a spy? Or you? Go on all day.
Boss.
Let her go. She won't speak, so she can't spread the infection.
getting Tish? مش ناقد انتي.
Oh.
إيديكي بلاك آنات إيه؟
Oh. Ako kode jisdesni.
دنه بالزاد.
Belagana gesnita. Katobe yasteta. Aseitota. Dodoにした。dodoにした。
Please select a mission.
Welcome home, boss.
This is yellow cake that Cypher was having the PF's transport. And the malachite that was loaded on the truck had traces of uranium in it too. So that's the first step towards saturating the world with nukes.
His plan. That was not my intention. My only goal in developing the metallic archaea was to save the Dene.
What made you think a tool for creating undetectable nuclear weapons would save your people?
After 70 years, the Dene reclaimed the Navajo nation from which we were banished. We bore all the hardships of poverty, but we were proud to live off the land we called our own. But in the moment the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, everything changed.
I don't get it. Roger.
The arms race between the US and the Soviet Union began with the end of the Second World War. Suddenly, there was a massive demand for uranium. And it was our ill fortune that the ground beneath the Navajo Nation was rich with uranium ore. The Black Ana government set up mine after mine, and many of the Dene worked them, never informed of any danger. Every day, they went to work with no protection. The slag was simply piled out in the open. When rain fell, uranium traces left behind would seep out, and when the ground dried, it was blown about as dust. Land and water were contaminated, irradiated. Many of us became sick and died. That pain lives on to this day.
I had no idea.
Wanting more than anything to revive the land my forebears left to me, I was delighted upon discovering microbes that eat uranium. If they could be domesticated, I believed we could rid our land of uranium.
Were you successful?
No. The research called for funding on a colossal scale. But nobody was willing to invest with no prospect of a return.
And that's when Skullface showed up.
Correct. I can save you and your people. We share the same will. That is what he said to me. And I believed him. Black Anna forced me to abandon my uranium cleanup work and focus on nuclear weapons. And he held all the Dine hostage. Today, the uranium mines within the reservation are finally closing down. It is simply less expensive now to source uranium overseas.
New victims, different places.
But uranium is a tactical resource. To rely on a foreign country for it is a difficult decision to make. And he was in the perfect place to influence that decision.
He could have condemned your people to the mines forever.
The contamination comes not only from uranium. The fallout from the Nevada nuclear tests also settled on our lands. As if our fortune were not already bad enough, we are also downwinders. To save the Dine, I must complete my original research.
What made you think a tool for creating undetectable nuclear weapons? Were you successful?
New victim. He could have condemned your people to the mines forever.
The contamination comes not only from uranium. The fallout from the Nevada nuclear tests also settled on our lands. As if our fortune to save the Dine. As if our fortune were not already bad enough. We are also downwinders. To save the Dine, I must complete my original research.
Marker placed.
Good to see you, boss. Thank you for getting those animals out, boss.
Please select a mission. Please landing zone confirmed.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Weather will clear shortly. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Heading to Afghanistan.
You need to disable the Soviets' reinforcement system by putting a hole in their base-to-base comms network. Head for the Eastern Communications Post and destroy its comms equipment. First, use the binoculars to locate the communications equipment at the facility.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Presence detected. The map has been updated. The map has been updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. You have arrived at your destination.
Extract him.
You have arrived at your destination.
You made it. First, use the binoculars to locate the communications equipment at the facility.
Analysis complete.
That antenna is one of the targets. There should be more. Keep looking.
The map has been updated.
That's another one of the targets. Do you see any more?
Has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
КП, это Зоя 10. Воздушный шар только что унес одного из наших. Скорее всего, на базе лазутчик. Мне заняться его поисками? Прием. Это КП, понял. Усилить безопасность. Найти нарушителя. Конец связи.
That looks like the target. We know where all the antennas are now. Take out all three of them. How you do it is your call. Explosives should take care of them well enough. How you do it is up to you.
Storm approaching.
Нет, там ничего нет.
Good. That's the first one. Destroy the remaining antennas.
Это КП. Мы вступили с важным противником. Все боевые единицы приготовились к бою.
Explosives should take care of them well enough. How you do it is up to you.
Clouds approaching.
Nice. That's the second one. That wasn't the last of them, though. Keep going.
Закончить тут! Двигайтесь! Нужен защитный огонь! Искать сектор! Двигайтесь!
КП, это Дмитрий-6. Никаких признаков врага. Отзываем поиск. Прием! Это КП, понял. Будьте бдительны. Не позволяйте им напасть на вас. Конец связи.
objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Всем боевым группам, это КП. Все подразделения, за боевые позиции. Повторяю, все подразделения, за боевые позиции.
We can't let them follow you. Throw off the enemies on your tail first. All right, the coast is clear. Mission complete.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Mission complete, and how? Boss, I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid. Boss, some of the kids we've been keeping here have escaped. We don't know why they ran off, but it may have something to do with Ralph's death. The intel teams are looking for them as we speak. I'll add information to your side ops list as it comes in. You need to locate and secure those kids. I'll try to find out what happened.
Please select a mission.
Boss, we gave Ralph, that kid who died in the accident, a burial at sea. The man in charge of that facility has been severely punished. But ever since, the kids have been acting strange. It's obvious they've lost their trust in adults. I was getting reports of them ignoring the staff, or getting insolent, and even violent. And a few days later, several of the kids did a disappearing act. They snuck into choppers and shipping containers and got off base. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. These kids were born in a war zone, and forced to grow up as warfighters. If they're left alone, war is how they'll die. But I thought we showed them there are other reasons to live. I never liked having children on Mother Base. But the thought of them going back to the battlefield and picking up their old lifestyle is something I can't stomach. It makes me think of Chico, 9 years ago. We have to get those kids back. Hell, they know too much about our operation. I never expected even the kids to betray us.
There's something I've been wondering. Why are you called Code Talker? During World War II, the U.S. military used the languages of different tribes, including the Navajo, as codes, right? I know the term Code Talker was used to mean people sent to the battlefield to speak in those codes. Were you one of them?
Our mother tongue was indeed used for war. But I did not go. I was already over the conscription age. However, I was made to help craft the codes that were spoken. So in a wider sense, you could call me a code talker for that. Navajo is a complex language, and virtually no one outside the U.S. speaks it. Namaste. It was the perfect language. However, I was made to help craft the codes that were spoken. So in a wider sense, you could call me a code talker for that. Navajo is a complex language, and virtually no one outside the U.S. speaks it. They must have thought it was the perfect language to use as a code.
Yeah, in the end, the Japanese never cracked it. The cipher is king in information warfare.
Of course, they didn't simply speak in Navajo. They created substitutions for words according to a code book, and then translated those into our language. Young Diné, were sent to the front lines of the Pacific Theater as code talkers. To fight is an honor for the Diné. They were the pride of our people. But I cannot say this history brings me joy. Words are alive when they're spoken.
Black carrot. It's something of an ancestor to the domestic carrot. It's also a favorite of wild animals.
Transformed into lifeless ciphers and used for war. Live. When they're spoken, life is breathed into them. They become a part of the listener. Our words were transformed into lifeless ciphers and used for war. This, after the Black Ana spent generations suppressing the language.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I guess we should...
Translated those into our language. Young Diné was sent to the front lines of the Pacific Theater as code talkers. To fight is an honor for the Diné. They were the pride of our people. But I cannot say this history brings me joy. Words are alive. When they're spoken, life is breathed into them. They become a part of the listener. Our words were transformed into lifeless ciphers and used for war. This...
Boss, retrieve the film canister our informant hid in Spoogmay Keep before he died. It contains vital information on Skullface's plan. For now, our only clue is the garbled photograph the informant tried to send us before the end. We're working on analyzing the data, but there's no time to wait. A KGB Spetsnaz squad is after the target as well. Boss, go to Spoogmay Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden. It is paramount you retrieve the target before the enemy does.
Placed. The map has been updated.
There's some high ground there. Just what you need for recon.
The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination. presence detected. The map has been updated. Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will commence shortly.
Понял. Будьте начеку. Выгрузите врага. Конец связи.
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake?
Boss, go to Spookmate Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden. It is paramount you retrieve the target before the enemy does. There's some high ground there. Just what you need for recon.
The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
The target film canister should be concealed somewhere in Spookmate Keep. But there's not much room to move and few places to hide. If the enemy spots you, you're bound to catch a bullet.
Это КП, понял. Возможно, это вражеское нападение. Всем быть начеку. Конец связи.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
The Soviet soldier. A lot of them came from Central Asia before, but lately they've been using more and more Russians. Simple, really. There's less hesitation to pull the trigger if they're not fighting their own race. Morbid cynicism, but it gets results. That's humanity for you.
Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will commence shortly.
Boss, we fully decrypted the VI data. Now the target's hiding place should be clear as blue.
Всем боевым группам! Это кафе! На должном поле! Всем подразделениям занять боевые позиции! Кафе! Закрепите им! Контакт! Пошлите поддержку! Прием! Это кафе! Понял! Всем постам! Срочно включите подкрепление! Есть связи!
Marker removed.
Spook may keep. The target is hidden somewhere around there. Look for terrain that matches the VI. The target has to be hidden there. Boss, go to Spook May Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden. It is paramount you retrieve the target before the enemy does. There's some high ground there. Just what you need for recon.
The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will commence shortly.
Капель, это Дмитрий-2. Слышу дым. Возможно, вражеская атака. Прием! Это КП. Понял. Усилить безопасность. Повышенная боевая готовность. Конец связи. Капель, здесь Дмитрий-3. Он слышал взрыв. Местонахождение неизвестно. Прием! Это КП. Понял. Всем подразделениям. Быть начеку. Конец связи.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
You have arrived at your destination.
Speak. Where are your friends?
Просто не шевелись! Мы тебя сейчас...
He's coming too. Roger that.
КП-59. Одного из нас находится на воздушном шаре. Похоже, у нас на базе противник. Жду указаний. Прием. Это КП. Понял. Усилить безопасность и найти нарушителя. Конец связи.
You have arrived at your destination.
КП-56. У нас тут взрыв. Что за происшествие?
Boss, we fully decrypted the VI data.
Это КП.
Now the target's hiding place should be clear as day.
Конец
Check
связи.
your iDroid.
Перегруппироваться на меня! Двигайтесь!
КП-59. Поиски закончены. Противник не обнаружен. Прием. Это КП. Понял.
A prisoner. You gonna help him? You gonna extract him?
Please select a strike point.
КП, это Дмитрий-2. Объект обнаружен. Жду указания. Прием. КП. Понял. Немедленно уничтожить. Конец связи.
Boss, the target's been destroyed.
Mission failed.
Boss, go to Spookmate Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden. It is paramount you retrieve the target before the enemy does. There's some high ground there. Just what you need for recon.
The map has been updated.
The target film canister should be concealed somewhere in Spookmate Keep. But there's not much room to move and few places to hide. If the enemy spots you, you're bound to catch a bullet.
You have arrived at your destination. Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will commence shortly.
Completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Mission info has been updated.
Boss, come in. Boss? Boss!
Boss, go to Spookmate Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden. It is paramount you retrieve the target before the enemy does. There's some high ground there. Just what you need for recon.
The map has been updated. Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Strike will commence. You have arrived at your destination.
Your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Mission info has been updated.
I can't let them follow you. Throw off the enemies on your tail first. All right, the coast is clear. Mission complete. All right, mission complete, boss. Maybe you'll actually break a sweat. Boss, I have a quick report for you here. We've discovered a radiation leak in the laboratory on the quarantine platform. It's coming from testing equipment we installed the other day. Members of the medical team have been conducting research there, but we'll evacuate them all from the research block to the containment block next to it. Emmerich.
There's no need to worry. No radioactive material is leaked, so the contamination won't spread. We just need to seal off the testing equipment.
I've dispatched the security team to get the researchers out. I'll keep you updated.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. On station at LZ! Gaining altitude. Departing!
Please select a landing heading to Central Africa. Deploying.
We finished decoding the informant's report. That floating kid we've run into a few times now. Looks like he was a test subject in clinical experiments. The Soviets called him the Third Boy. The Third Boy was brought to a lab on the outskirts of Moscow from Czechoslovakia, after which he was due to be sent to a research center in Leningrad, then Siberia, and finally an academic town in Novosibirsk. It doesn't appear that the researchers witnessed the talents we've seen from him, but nevertheless he was quite the popular subject. His latent cognitive abilities suddenly awoke en route to Moscow. According to the report, the Third Boy was easily influenced by other individuals' biofields. Evil thoughts, in particular. They affected his mind like a virus.
Boss, you need to find those kids who escaped. Fighting's still the only way of life they know. If we don't bring them back, they'll just end up getting killed.
Mental energy field coming from a certain
Boss, if we develop a child-sized Fulton recovery device, you'll be able to extract those kids. Send the development order from your iDroid if you need it.
The way his acute telepathic abilities get taken over by another person's will. The boy began to physically parasitize individuals experiencing extreme anger and codify the host's desires. This includes amplifying the host's natural strengths. Or, in accordance with the host's desires, he can also implant program code in another individual, making them a puppet, essentially. Human neural synapses transmit weak electrical currents between neurons. These electrical currents, though at a level difficult to observe, warp the magnetic field outside the body. The Third Boy is able to pick up these weak fluctuations. Contrary to psychotronics, which involves controlling the human mind, his abilities as a receptor are too high. The emotions he picks up from another individual are amplified and unleashed into his body as they recur in his brain. They turn into microwaves, which then affect the physical world, triggering paranormal phenomena like the spontaneous combustion of organic matter or psychokinesis, moving an object without touching it. There's one other thing. While he's parasitizing a host, the boy's ego gets shut away, allowing the will of the host to take control of his powers, like some annoying static drowning out your own voice. That means he isn't responsible for what's been happening. Somebody's extreme anger has manifested through the Third Boy's powers in ways none of us could have predicted, which would mean this was going on somewhere around us. Looking back on it, a lot of things make sense now. The man on fire, Sahelanthropus, they both came to life thanks to the Third Boy's powers. Everything has been happening through him as a catalyst. We first saw him in the hospital on Cyprus. The boy parasitizing the man on fire's desire for revenge gave him his new abilities in return. He next appeared at the Hamid Fighters Fort where the honeybee was hidden. There, the boy parasitized Skullface's vengeful mind. He controlled Sahelanthropus, making it do whatever Skullface wanted. Same goes for when we extracted Emmerich onto the chopper. When he appeared at the Devil's House in Central Africa, Skullface's will controlled the man on fire via the Third Boy's powers. Everything is clear up to this point. But even the informant couldn't pinpoint who the host was in the cave within Serac power plant. Sahelanthropus suddenly became active, then crushed not only the man on fire, but Skullface as well. Surely neither of them could have been the host. Who else was at that location and bore anger more extreme than either of them? Whose will was controlling Sahelanthropus? According to the report, emotions transmitted in children's brains affect the surrounding magnetic field more strongly. Cerebral nerves are covered with insulation called myelin sheaths to increase impulse speed. The reason for this leakage has to do with the fact that children's myelin sheaths are still developing. So, how many children do you remember being there? Children with a burning desire for revenge and bearing a grudge against you. I can think of only one. Eli. We don't know what kind of life he's had, but the resentment he's shown toward adults is nothing short of extraordinary. The Third Boy resonated with Eli's mind. And that means Eli bore the strongest animosity of all individuals within the boy's reception range, estimated to be a 3-mile radius, beating out even Volgan and Skullface. The Third Boy has probably remained hooked on Eli's anger since. You remember at the Devil's House, the third boy showed an interest in Shabani? That must have been his ego making a rare appearance. He may possess abilities far beyond anyone else in the world, but he's still a kid. Maybe them both being kids was enough to bring them together. And if so, maybe with Eli, he isn't feeding off him, but acting in symbiosis with him. So what kick-started the third boy's powers? If we look at the location and time that his plane went down, we can make a pretty good guess. When the plane experienced the first anomaly, it gave an accurate report of its position to a control tower, due north of the Black Sea, 125 miles east of Kiev. Dead south on the Black Sea is Cyprus's Green Line. So the plane's position was directly north of the hospital where you'd been asleep for 9 years. And this anomaly was reported at exactly the same time that you woke up. The plane was enveloped in flame from the inside out. The fuselage burnt to ashes. There were no survivors, at least not publicly admitted. Your thoughts formed a synchronicity with the boy's psyche and were amplified inside his brain. That would have been more than enough to trigger his abilities. Your rage was like a big bang in his head, blowing the lid off his powers. The boy was then secretly moved to the lab outside of Moscow where Volgin was comatose. There, Volgin's thoughts resonated with the boy and he was awakened.
Boss, get down. That's an enemy gunship. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Skullface knew Volgin from Operation Snake Eater, or perhaps from even before. Monitoring this pair of extraordinaries, he discovered the hospital and sent his assassin and XOF. Skullface was probably watching the situation from close by. Then, realizing how useful these two test subjects could be, he approached them. Reacting to Skullface's thirst for revenge, this time the boy let Skullface's will control Volgin. Volgin, at times driven by personal revenge, at times through Skullface's will, kept on moving, though his body was little more than dead meat. Perhaps there were moments where even your thoughts affected him as well. But without the boy's power, it was like the plug had been pulled from the socket. Everything was powered by anger, malice, revenge. This is how the end of the report sums things up. Both the third boy and the man on fire were originally test subjects of paranormal research for military applications, like telekinetically controlling the leader of an enemy nation and making him launch a nuke, or stopping the heart of someone on the wrong side of the Berlin Wall, experimenting with latent human abilities. They were used as tools of the Cold War. The boy's only crime was being born with unique gifts. But he was sacrificed on the altar of war. His life reduced to slavery under other people's wills. Turned into a living weapon with no will of his own. Eventually, the only emotion he could feel must have been the desire to get revenge for the hand he'd been dealt. Boss, it's you that awakened the boy's powers. But there's more to it than that. I guess the anger emanating from you was something he could truly relate to.
Snake! Talk to me! Snake! Snake!
According to the intel team, the escaped kids should be around here. Locate and secure them. Boss, if we develop a child-sized Fulton recovery device, you'll be able to extract those kids. Send the development order from your iDroid if you need it.
Support helicopter requested.
Boss, get down. That's an enemy gunship. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is P-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived.
No targets remaining. Ending attack run and will stand by at LZ. This is P-Quad. On station at LZ.
section arrived at Mother Base.
Gaining altitude.
Snake, you remember the White Mamba? Of course, he's been going by Eli since we brought him on base. He was the leader of the child soldier unit we took out of that village and into our protection. Well, according to the kids you brought back here, all the escapees were especially close to Eli. Snake, there's reason to suspect he's behind. Well, he was the leader of the child's. Of course, he's been going by Eli since we brought him on base. He was the leader of the child soldier unit we took out of that village and into our protection. Well, according to the kids you brought back here, all the escapees were especially close to Eli. There's reason to suspect he's behind all 6 escapes. We've already detained him. I'll be questioning him shortly.
Wait. You'll be?
Ocelot.
You're incapable of taking an impartial stance with those kids. Question them all you want. It'll get you nowhere.
Ocelot, you get too many kicks from your art of interrogation.
It's not a matter of art. It's about quick, minimal strokes of psychological warfare. That's what gets the answers. And it's the best way to keep both questioner and subject safe. The risks only increase the more an interrogation drags on. At that point, it causes as much pain to the inflictor as the inflicted.
Like I said, too many kicks.
What I'm trying to tell you is we need quick results. Otherwise, it'll be too little, too late.
I know that.
And besides, I know the subject. I won't go overboard with a kid.
Forget it. You're not needed. Snake, we'll want to question the other kids too. Be sure to bring them all back.
Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a landing zone. Heading to quarantine platform. Please select a mission. Please select a mission.